The Element-Imbued gasoline is a new fuel source that was added with Bob Tall Tales 3 DLC, which was in addition with the battle rigs. In this video, we will check out all the crafting structures that are affected with gasoline and element, including the motorboat, chainsaw, and the zipline motor attachment, to see what exactly is affected and what works with the Element-Imbued gasoline. Now, if you do find this video informational, don't forget to smash the like button, as it always helps with the algorithm. Subscribe and share around, as that always supports the channel. With that, let's get right into this one. Now, to craft the Element-Imbued gasoline, you will need the battle rig garage, and this is unlocked at level 50. However, it is going to be on a slower side, so if you have access to the makeshift mega lab, that would make things much more efficient, as the battle garage takes about 30 seconds to craft one Element-Imbued gasoline, whereas the makeshift mega lab will only take 2 seconds to craft the Element-Imbued gasoline, making it a much more efficient way of crafting it. Now, we have a bunch of structures here, but first off, we are going to start with the generator and then move our way upwards to the other crafting stations. So let's get on with it. So first up, we have the power generator, and this thing will give you 1 hour of fuel for a single can of gasoline. For a stack of 100 can of gasoline, it's going to give you 4 days and 4 hours. There we go. However, if you have the Element-Imbued gasoline and have access to it, 1 can of Element-Imbued gasoline will give it 4 hours of fuel time. And if you add 100 stacks of it, you get 16 days and 16 hours of fuel time, which is a crazy amount. And if you have a full generator filled with just Element-Imbued gasoline, you'll have 133 days worth of fuel. And basically, you can just never think of refueling for a couple of months before you have to restock again, which makes it highly sought after as an alternative fuel source compared to the regular gasoline. Next up, we have the tech generator, but unfortunately, this thing still only works on element. It makes sense, but it was worth a shot to try it out because it does have element in it, or element dust, but we are unable to use it with the tech generator. Next up, we have the chemistry bench, and a single can of gasoline will give it around 30 minutes of fuel time. And a full stack of gasoline is going to give you 2 days and 2 hours. Now, when it comes to Element-Imbued gasoline, can we use it? Well, yes, we can. And it gives you 2 hours of fuel time with just a single can of Element-Imbued gasoline. But with a full stack of it, you're going to get 8 days and 8 hours of fuel time, which again is going to be impressive and highly efficient for getting all those narco parties or different types of crafting needs. Next up, we have the industrial preserving bin, which a single can of fuel is going to give you about 30 minutes. And it's going to be same like the chemistry bench. It's going to give you 2 days, 2 hours for a stack of gasoline. And 100 stack of Element-Imbued gasoline is going to give you about 8 days and 8 hours. Next up, we have the Fabricator, and in this case, again, it's the same case scenario. You're going to get 30 minutes for a single can of gasoline. And for a stack of gasoline, you're going to get about 2 days and 2 hours. However, if you're using Element-Imbued gasoline, again, you're going to get 8 days and 8 hours of fuel time. This makes really good sense. Like, if you're leaving your stuff on, I can get much more for the resources I'm using, because someone may say you need to use element dust combined with gasoline, right? Because it takes 1 gasoline and it takes 10 element dust, which is nothing for the time it gives. If you even take, say, 3 canisters of gasoline, it still doesn't make up for that time difference, because one of these alone is 2 hours plus. Look at that. Just 1 can is 2 hours. So you're getting 30 minutes more if you're using 3 cans of gasoline. So it is highly efficient and it doesn't cost that much. You just need to hit a fuel outpost in the extinction map and you're good with the dust. Next up, we have the industrial grinder, a much more use case scenario. If you're using a bunch of stone for XP grinding and you're just going to keep it on, you're going to be better off using the Element-Imbued gasoline, because again, in this case, 1 gasoline is 30 minutes and a stack of gasoline is going to give you 2 days and 2 hours. But a stack of Element-Imbued gasoline is going to give you 8 days and 8 hours, making it highly efficient for just keeping it on and grinding the stone, the wood, whatever you keep in your industrial grinders for that passive XP gain. Next up, we have the industrial grill, another one that if you're using it for just constantly cooking meat, it's going to be much preferred to have the Element-Imbued gasoline, because a single gas can is going to give you 40 minutes of fuel, but a stack of it is going to give you 2 days and 18 hours. However, if you have a single can of Element-Imbued gasoline, it's going to give you 2 hours and 40 minutes of fuel, And a full stack of element-imbued gasoline is going to give you 11 days and 2 hours, making it obviously the better choice for passive raw made cook sesh. Next up, we have the industrial cooker, and again, a single can of gasoline is going to give you about 30 minutes of fuel time, and a full stack of it is going to give you 2 days and 2 hours. Again, the element-imbued gasoline is going to be much better, as it's going to give you 2 hours of fuel time with a single can, and it's going to give you 8 days and 8 hours with a stack of element-imbued gasoline, which is going to be really sweet for all those dyes. I wouldn't say kibble with the whole grinder situation, but and now on to the big boys that we have here. We have the industrial forge, we have the replicator, and we have our steam forge. So let's go with the industrial forge. The industrial forge with single gas can is going to give you about 30 minutes again, and a full stack of it is going to give you about 2 days and 2 hours. The element-imbued gasoline, a single can, is going to give you about 2 hours, and a whole stack of it is going to give you about 8 days and 8 hours. So making it much better to leave it on while it just melts down all the metal for you and you'll be hassle-free. Next up, let's go to steam forge, which if this works, it's going to be way more usable than just having to use element to power it on. So let's go and check this out. Fingers crossed. Gasoline, we cannot put in there. Element, we can. Okay. Let's see if we have any luck with the element-imbued gasoline. Oh, that sucks. Sadly, we cannot use the element-imbued gasoline, which I think is a really big miss, because there is a lot of people saying that this should have an alternative fuel source, like an element charge or something different like element ore rather than the complete element. It is kind of agreeable, but right now with extinction, it is a little bit easy to get element, but this is a miss that they could have used the element-imbued gasoline where it consumed more or give a very little time for the fuel, but you could use the element-imbued gasoline, would be much appreciated, as that way we could have saved up on our element, which is way more precious than the element-imbued gasoline. And moving on to a final crafting station, which is going to be the tech replicator. Now this thing uses element to turn it on, but I thought maybe if it has element-imbued gasoline it should work, but again, unfortunately you can put it in there, but it doesn't register as a fuel source, so we cannot use the element-imbued gasoline, which again would be somewhere we could save element. But sadly, Wildcard just doesn't want you to do that. They want you to use your element on the steam forge and the tech replicator. And now moving on to the motorboat, so let's quickly just teleport there. So next up we have the motorboat, so let's quickly check the difference between the normal gasoline and the element-imbued gasoline, if it does give a difference in time for the usage. This will be a sped up footage, so stay tuned for the results. So first up, we have the normal gasoline. So let's go and get it started. And there we go. We're completely out of fuel. So that is the time taken with the normal gasoline. Now let's move on to the element-imbued gasoline and see if there's actually a difference. There we go. Let's put in the element-imbued gasoline. And let's turn it on. Now let's check this out. There we go. We finally stopped. So this is the amount of time it took with the element-imbued gasoline. So with the motorboat, both of them basically give you the same amount of time, which is 6.18 to 6.19 seconds. I may be off, but it's going to give you the same usage. So regardless if you use the normal gasoline or the element-imbued gasoline, you're going to get the same result. But there is a little bit of a secret to it, and I will reveal that at the end of the video. Next up, we have the chainsaw. Now, we do know this works on gasoline, as you can see right there. Right now, it's on gasoline, but let's just test this out if it actually works with element-imbued gasoline. And if it does, most likely the mining drill will also work with element-imbued gasoline. Okay, so unfortunately, we cannot use it with the chainsaw or any kind of weapon for that matter. Also, it doesn't even work with the tech suits. That is kind of a shame. I thought it would at least work with the chainsaw and give us more time on the chainsaw for using it. It would be amazing. But unfortunately, it does not. And even with the tech suit, so it's a miss. Moving on to the next one. So lastly, we have the Zipline motor, and we're going to use both types of fuel source. And to test this out, we have the Zipline right in front of us. And we're basically going to see which one loses the most percentage with the same distance. And that's how we're going to choose which one is more efficient, or if there is any efficiency between the two of them. So let's put in the fuel source. So first one we're going to do is the normal gasoline. Let's attach that here. Okay. And let's equip it. See, that's the distance. And here we go. So from 100%, we went to 97%. Now let's see if it's the same or if it's different with the element-imbued gasoline. Let's put in the element-imbued gasoline, which also works with the Zipline motor. Let's put that there. There we go. Same distance. There we go. It's the same. So it doesn't affect the fuel efficiency with the Zipline motors or whatever fuel source you use, the normal gasoline or the element-imbued gasoline, you're going to get the same mileage. So it's rather you better use gasoline for the Zipline motor. Since you made it till the end of the video, I did find a small little glitch. It's not something game breaking, but it is gonna turn some heads and someone else can figure this out more than me. It all began with testing these motorboats, and there is a small little nifty trick. Basically, when you use normal gasoline, for example right here, and you turn it on, you just get 100% fuel, right? There's nothing in this, just 100% fuel, okay? But with the addition of the new fuel source, which is the element-imbued gasoline, we have a can here, a single can, okay? If you turn this on, it consumes and spits it out back again. Okay? And you can just take it back. Now you can run this out of fuel and then just put that back and then have infinite boating rides, I guess. But let's see if we can put 2 and get any extra in return. So let's put 2 here. Turn it on. And we just have a 2 back. So basically the motorboat, if you're using element-imbued gasoline, you can use infinite fuel because it basically doesn't consume it. Now you may think I have GCM on, that's why it's happening. So let's turn off GCM. There we go, no GCM mode on. 1 can of element-imbued gasoline, 0% fuel. Turn it on and voila, I get my element-imbued gasoline back. It's pretty neat find. I don't know if you do think it is informational. Don't forget to smash the like button as it always helps the channel, and subscribe. That's all I ask from you. But I'm pretty sure that someone else may figure out to glitch this out even more. I couldn't. This is the best I could do. Basically, infinite sailing if you're using a motorboat. No need to worry about gasoline anymore. Until it's patched, obviously. So wildcard, please stay away from this. Don't watch this video. Bye. That is pretty much it for the element-imbued gasoline. It's going to be way more efficient in different kinds of ways. Especially if you're going to leave your base unattended and just let things go. It's more better to have the element-imbued gasoline, so anyone if in your tribe can craft it, or if anyone in the server can craft it, you better get on that bandwagon to make a lot of element-imbued gasoline, as it's going to be helpful in the long run. Now yes, they don't affect everything. As you saw with the Zipline motor, it gives the same efficiency. So just keep that in mind and for reference, and don't waste the element-imbued gasoline on something which is just going to give you the same performance. I hope this video was informational to you, and if you did like it, don't forget to smash the like button, as it always helps with the algorithm, and subscribe and share around, as that always supports the channel. With that, also I'm signing off, and I'll see you on the next one. Till then, peace out.